This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Okay, James in Oxford was asking about a jazz blues kind of lesson, and also was asking about if I'd done a lesson on Misty. I've actually already done a lesson on Misty and What a Wonderful World, so I kind of figured maybe we could talk about all blues today because it's one of my favourite things to play. The tab for what I'm doing on this will be up on Patreon as well as the backing track, but I'm going to talk you through how I tried to tackle this as an intro because I think it's a really interesting thing to try. The main thing is that it's actually pretty simple harmonically, and a little bit more simple than your typical jazz blues. But what we do have with this is a really cool ostinato. So the bass line kind of does this. This kind of thing. And in the intro, Bill Evans is doing this kind of thing, which which is kind of fun to play if you're ever comping and playing this thing live. It kind of shows who's actually listened to the record or not. And then this is a thing that I've actually taken for my kind of blues comping in general that is really, really nice. So we get kind of here, 3rd fret, 4th fret, and then 3rd again. So we got kind of our flat 7 of G, our 3rd, and our 5th. And then we move up to a C triad, 5, 5, 5. And then we move up to like a D minor triad. So 5, 5, sorry, 7, 7, 6. And we're kind of emulating a little bit of the bass line. I think because of what I end up doing later on, I never figured out how to play which is basically just an exercise in figuring out exactly, as you slow things down, where the chord comes. But it's a bit of that Joe Pass thing where you kind of want to simplify things in a way that you can kind of get them out without having to think about it too much. So our melody then basically centers around the 3rd, around here. So I play it like this, 7. And then kind of float the ostinato around it as much as possible. So slowly. And then what changes, all that changes is that at the bottom here, we have like a G minor triad or a B flat major triad to the C triad. So instead of, we have and then the melody. And that part is the most difficult part for me. To kind of figure out the tongue twisty or finger twister element of it. And then we get to here, where we got our just a D9 up to an E flat 9 to a D, kind of Hendrixy thing, right? So 5, 4, 5, up a fret to the E flat, back down to the D, but with the 6th fret. And then you've got to fit around that ostinato again. So that's kind of the head part of it, and that is what is challenging. Like the notes themselves are not difficult, but there is definitely an element where you're going to need to kind of spend some time and trying to get that together. So yeah, that's the challenge for me. And then when it comes to playing over it, over our G, I'm kind of thinking about this, and I did break down, I think, or transcribe to myself. Cannonball Adderley solo, which I think is absolutely incredible. But kind of for me, I'm focusing on like D Dorian. Over the G. Then down to G Dorian. Back to D Dorian. Then to D Mixolydian. And then for the E flat, kind of focus on E flat triads. So like an E flat. Or like a side slippy. Or you could think about E flat melodic minor over that D altered. Yeah, so that's kind of, I think, a really, really nice one to jam over. As I say, over the G, I might be thinking about kind of D Dorian in terms of how I see it, or playing basically G Mixolydian or soloing in the key of C major. And basic G blues stuff. Over that G minor, think about G Dorian. Or soloing in F major. And then back, and then over the D Mixolydian, E flat Mixolydian, and then back to D. I think that's, for me, the simplest way to get into it, and you don't have to do the chord melody even. But that is a really nice way to comp through the tune. Give that a go. That's what I've been doing, playing over that tune for the few years that I've been playing it. I think it's a really cool one to give yourself a bit of a blast over, in a manner of speaking. Patreon will be the place to get the tab and the backing track. I'll catch you in another video soon. I hope this was vaguely useful to anyone who's looking for kind of easy-ish jazz kind of type topics that aren't super scary. Catch you in another video soon. Cheers.